good? Oh.
I think if you just...
Oh, just over this. All right, so let me tuck back in, then we'll go that way. It's the whole process now.
High school football, you just never know what you're going to get. Once he tucks it in, it's all about quickness, moves, and speed.
Malcolm Crispin, like he was shot out of a cannon.
Once he breaks the line of scrimmage, you got problems defensively.
Now it's Keyshawn over the right side, showing off his speed.
Harris has had the game of his life here. Give the freshman all the credit in that one, Pat.
They got their money's worth here tonight. What a game here at White Stadium. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field in Lynn as we bring you the first round of the Division VI MIAA Football Playoffs. As tonight, the English Eagles will be taking on the St. Mary's Spartans. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And, Alan, we're now in the silly season of high school football season. It's the playoffs. We got a whole new format this year in high school football in Massachusetts here for the MIAA. And we've now got the English Eagles, who we weren't sure if they were going to make the playoffs with a couple of losses during the season, but here they are.
It was tricky. It was close. Like you said, only knew a few days ago that we were coming out here to the North Shore.
That's right.
St. Mary's, a winning program over the years. As a matter of fact, last time we were here a couple of years ago, they really did a job on another Boston team, beat Brighton.
That's right.
Pretty
a
convincingly.
very good Brighton team.
Yeah, and so that's something that I'm sure the English high coaches are trying to dispel from their players.
Right.
Forget about that. This is a new season, new team. A couple of years later, it's our season, so let's do what we can. But like you said, the point is, first round of the playoffs, a lot of nervousness. It's almost as anxious as starting an entire season because, in fact, the playoff format, you just have to keep winning. And then the weirdest thing is, after that, there's still Thanksgiving games.
That's right.
Which are originally are actually on the regular season. So, like you said, it's a little wild the way it's set up, but it creates some excitement for the fans and for the players.
No question. A little topsy-turvy schedule for these high school football teams in Massachusetts, but they're slowly but surely kind of figuring out new ways to do the high school playoffs here in this state. Now, meanwhile, for the St. Mary Spartans, like we mentioned, a very good team. They've been good for a long time now, and one of their best players, one of their running backs, David Brown, outstanding player for the Spartans team that scores just over 36 points a game.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, anytime you score that many points, that someone has to be the spark plug, and that's David Brown right there, number 2. Obviously, English has to key on him the entire game. So the spark plug, he's only 5'9", but he's 165 pounds of muscle, has like 15 or 16 touchdowns. Clearly the main weapon in the running attack for St. Mary's.
Yeah, very versatile, can catch the football, can run the football, has a punt return for a touchdown, does a lot of different things for the St. Mary's team. Meanwhile, on the other side for the English Eagles, their top running back is our spotlight player tonight. That's Keyshawn Kerr, the senior tailback for Boston English. He has been their top starter at running back for 3 years now. All
right, and he started out very well as a sophomore, like you mentioned, and he's just gotten better each season. We had a good chance to see them a couple of times this year. They had some good wins. English has tried their best to work on their offensive line with a mixture of a couple of seniors and a couple of underclassmen who've come along.
Right.
Coach Conway has said that he's happy with their development, so tonight will be a real test for them because they've got to be able to keep the ball away from that high-powered offense for St. Mary's.
That's right. They're going to want to ground and pound with Keyshawn, the quarterback Mark Osario, and a couple other running backs. Terrell Geathers has really come on towards the end of the year as well, so they have a whole stable of guys that can carry the football for this English team, and like you mentioned, they're going to have to do that tonight to control the tempo of this game here on the road in Lynn. Now, for more on this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Milton Posner. Milton, what do you have?
Hey guys, got a quick update for you about this Spartan defense that more than lives up to its namesake. Allowed just 13 points per game on the season to this point. It's built on 3 principles, says head coach Sean Driscoll. Number 1, quick swarms to the ball. Number 2, strength up the middle. And number 3, maybe the most unique, the guys they've got doing double duty, because it's a lot of their star players who are playing on both sides of the ball. Quarterback Ali Berry doubles as a free safety. Running back David Jones doubles as a cornerback. And Derek Coulanges, the running back, doubling as an outside linebacker. It allows head coach Sean Driscoll to put his best athletes on the field whenever he wants, regardless of which side of the ball they're on. The offense has been good. It scored 36 points per game. That's nothing to sneeze at. But it's the defense, Coach Driscoll says, that has put his team in the position that they're in. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Milton. And, you look at the St. Mary's offense, they score 36 points a game, and you say, wow, this is a powerful offense. It's scary to know that their defense, the coach thinks, is actually better.
Only giving up 13 points. That's amazing at the high school level. And the one loss that they had was actually in overtime. And like we always joke about 2-point conversions. It was because of they missed a 2-point conversion. Cardinal Spellman got their 2-point conversion to win that game in overtime. That's the only blemish that St. Mary's has on their record. Coming into this game is 7-1.
Yeah, if you go back to 2 losses for Boston English, also their 2 losses, they lost by a couple 2-point conversions as well. Mm-hmm. So this game could come down to those conversions after touchdowns here at Manning Field in Lynn. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the first round of the Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs from Manning Field in Lynn. It's the English Eagles taking on the St. Mary's Spartans. We'll be right back with the opening kickoff just after this.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
No.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn for the Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs. It's the English Eagles taking on the St. Mary's Spartans. We are just about set to go here at Manning Field as Boston English in the all-white uniforms with the blue trim. Meanwhile, St. Mary's in the navy uniforms with the yellow trim. Boston English won the toss. They elected to kick, or to defer, rather, so that they will receive to start the second half. So St. Mary's is going to get the football first. You know, with an offense like this, Alan, St. Mary's getting the football first, you wonder, is this the right call for English when you have a team that scores 36 points a game?
That's a good point, but I think Coach Conway really wants to let his defense see what they're up against tonight. Give the ball to this high-powered offense from St. Mary's first, and just like I said, as early as possible, get a sense of what you have to deal with.
Opening kick here for English. Squib kick right around the 41-yard line. That's fielded nicely by St. Mary's. Fielding it for the Spartans was number 42, Michael Morgan, just a freshman, but a headsy play right there. Didn't try to do anything crazy with the football. Here are the starters for St. Mary's offense. Ali Barry, very good senior quarterback. We talked about David Brown. Kalangis, the down-to-down running back, very good in between the tackles. Marks and Sacco, two tight ends that get involved in the passing game.
Well, last time we had English, they were against a good running team in Latin Academy, and the linebackers in that game played really close to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what Coach Conway has them doing tonight.
Now on first down from the 40-yard line, Barry looking to throw right away over the right side. He's got a receiver in Sacco. I'm sorry, that's Marks who caught the football there for St. Mary's, and Jack Marks is marked down at the 20-yard line.
We talk about Barry's arm.
That's a 40-yard pickup there.
I was just going to say a bomb on the first play of the game. We're expecting either a run from Kalangis or a sweep from Brown. Instead, he just drops back. The key to the play was he rolled out. He was able to roll out, set himself, and get the ball downfield.
Ali Barry with 5 passing touchdowns to go along with the 6 rushing touchdowns on the season. Now on first down, they hand it off up the middle. And another nice run here for St. Mary's. They're going to go in standing up for a touchdown. We do have a flag on the play. That was Kalangis on the 20-yard score. We'll see if it's coming back.
Looks like something happened right near the goal line as he was going in. Blocking the back.
So blocking the back, that'll be a spot foul.
A little over anxious on the St. Mary's side because it looked like Kalangis was not quite in already, but there was no English player attempting a tackle. So the block in the back was just a little, I guess, over anxiousness. Ali Barry, like you mentioned, 5 passing CDs, 6 rushing touchdowns also.
Definitely a dual threat quarterback for this Spartan team. They marked the football down at the 15-yard line, so it'll be first down for St. Mary's. After that run, and then Barry's wrapped up in the backfield.
Yeah, Barry faked the handoff, had a player in motion, trying to catch English leaning the wrong way. That time English stayed in the fakes to Kalangis, and then you see Barry trying to make something out of nothing. It was a good job to hang on to the football.
Denzel Pierre coming up to clean up that tackle, but a couple other English defenders also there for the stop. Coach Conway mentioned how much he likes seeing his team rally to the football and gang tackle. 2nd and 7 now for St. Mary's. Another handoff. This time it's Brown. Stutter step. Brown to the outside. Touchdown.
You called
Spartans.
it right, Pat. That stutter step opened up everything.
David Brown with a pretty touchdown there from the 12-yard line, and the Spartans strike first.
You see a simple handoff, nothing fancy at all. A stutter step right there, just like you called it, and gave him the sideline, and there was nobody else to get there.
I think he faked out Keyshawn Kerr too.
Well, that's unusual.
Which is not a guy that you can fake out easily. St. Mary's now looking to tack on the extra point with their kicker, Michael Anderson. And Anderson boots it through, so a quick 7-0 start here for St. Mary's. 1 minute 15 just off the clock there in the first quarter. 60-yard drive for the St. Mary's Spartans.
We're starting with that 40-yard pass on the first play of the game. But like you said earlier, you think about the decision to win when you win the toss to defer. I really believe it was more of like a psychological, emotional type thing from Coach Conway to let his team, because there are a lot of players on his team who play both ways, offense and defense. He wanted to have his team look at what you're dealing with. You see Coach Conway obviously upset about that that quick drive and touchdown, but he knows his team has the same kind of striking ability on offense.
No, I think you made a good point too, Alan, when they elected to kick off, is that Conway wants to know right away, hey guys, this is the offense we're facing. And now they know exactly what they're up against for the rest of this game. We'll see if the Eagles can respond after that touchdown drive by the Spartans. Short pooch kick there for the Eagles in no man's land, and the Spartans recover at the 37-yard line. Make that the 38.
Well, a mental error by English, as nobody went for the ball until it was already recovered by St. Mary's.
Jack Marks with the recovery. He was the tight end who had that big reception to start off the drive for St. Mary's.
It looks like Denzel Pierre is actually shaken up. The ball's bouncing. It's weird because normally you see those squib kicks. This one was more of just a bouncer. That'd be a huge loss for English if Denzel can't come back. But this is what we can call a nightmare start for English.
Certainly not what they were looking for to start things off here in the 2021 playoffs.
Oh, yeah, good. It's good to see him getting up. Might have just lost his
Might have just got the wind. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The worst feeling for about 30 seconds, and then you're okay.
Yeah, they're going to need him, especially with this running game from St. Mary's.
Yeah, Denzel, a very good linebacker. Play a little safety. He's actually, I believe, a player that Coach Conway's hoping will eventually be their starting quarterback once Mark Osario graduates after this season. Now on first down, it's Barry. Looking for an opening. He's now going to take off and run, and he
lost the football.
Barry fumbled the football, and English recovers.
So you talk about making your own breaks. That time, looked like it must have been a blitz because he had four or five English players after him. See right there, ball came out. Yeah, and English this time they blew the onside kick, but they were able to recover the fumble. So that gives them good field position right near midfield.
DeJuan Carter stripping the football, and English recovers at their own 48-yard line. So just what the doctor ordered there for the English Eagles after giving up that touchdown, after giving up that kick, the free kick where it was recovered by St. Mary's. English gets it right back. Now on first down for the English Eagles, Osario out of the shotgun looking to throw. Osario looking deep down the middle, and the ball's intercepted. Picked off that time from Ali Barry, who Coach Driscoll believes is actually a better safety than quarterback, comes up with the interception. So you have 3 straight turnovers here in the middle of the first quarter.
Well, English trying to duplicate what St. Mary's did, their first offensive play with a deep pass downfield. Like you said, Barry, free safety is similar to center fielder in baseball. And if you have the instincts and the reaction to get with the ball while the ball's in the air, that's exactly what he did. Because there was no chance for there was coverage from the cornerback, and Barry came up as the second guy, double coverage, and get the interception. You know he wanted to make up for that fumble, so he's happy now.
No question. Good recovery there by Barry. So Spartans now take over at their own 20-yard line on first down. Another handoff straight up the gut there for Kalangis, who makes his way out to the 34-yard line, 14-yard pickup.
Well, English is right. These first couple of running plays obviously getting beaten at the line of scrimmage. So it's I guess it's up to Coach Conway if he wants to either realign them or, like he did against Latin Academy, bring the linebackers up a little closer. Problem is St. Mary's clearly is a good passing team.
Man in motion once again, a handoff up the gut to Kalangis. And he's wrapped up right around the 40-yard line, so a 6-yard gain there for Kalangis on first down. Denzel Pierre back in there to make the tackle.
Real roller coaster of emotions for English so far. This is, so you see Kalangis, nice second and third effort. Thinking back a couple plays to that long pass interception. You got to hope that English, they had the high of forcing the fumble, getting the ball back, but then the very next play, giving the ball right back to St. Mary's. So the emotions are tough in any playoff game.
2nd and 4 now for the Spartans. Kalangis now the man in motion. Barry flips it out over the right side to Sacco. Sacco breaking tackles down the right sideline inside English territory at the 46.
Like you mentioned, Sacco just keep those legs turning. Wide receiver screen, or tight end screen, and he's going to run through all these arm tackles. Just keeps those legs going. Takes 3 English players to get him down.
Yeah, Marks is more the inline tight end for this Spartans team. Coach Driscoll mentioned that Sacco's the one they probably split out a little bit more. Basically a wide receiver.
You can see why, because he has those skills.
Now on 1st down in English territory, the handoff again to Brown, and David Brown, very slippery. He fumbles the football
again.
Brown fumbles it. English recovers. Was he out of bounds when he recovered it?
He might have slid out of bounds, but he looked like he had it inbounds.
So English forcing another fumble. They get the football back once again.
Well, obviously, the English players are being told, if you have a chance, punch at the ball.
Corey Collins on the fumble recovery.
Yeah,
there for the English
Eagles.
Eagles.
Think about it, Pat. This is one of the first real cold nights we've had during this football season. That ball might be slippery, especially if they're using older balls. They get slipped real slick.
No question. Here are the starters for English: Osario, Kerr, Gethers, Malachi McClure, and Vattel. English uses a lot of different running backs, so we'll see a few more players in there as well, including Anderson Guerrero. On 1st down, the handoff to Keyshawn Kerr. He's wrapped up in the backfield. Nowhere to go for Keyshawn, as really one of the heart and soul of this team is Tommy Falaska, the junior defensive tackle.
Tommy Falaska on the tackle.
He came across as if he was untouched. I mean, you talk about it wasn't even a blitz. He's a defensive lineman. Came across, so that.
You see Mark Osario, very good runner for a quarterback. We saw him against Latin Academy, had 58 rushing yards and a touchdown. Also ran well against O'Brien a couple of games earlier in the season as well. Now on 2nd down, handoff for English. And they get back the yardage that they lost, and then a couple of more, as that was Terrell Gethers there on 2nd down.
Yeah, Gethers had a nice push on that one. Quick snap. You see Gethers was able to get at least 7 yards on that.
Yeah, mark him down at the 49, so 3rd and 8 now for the English Eagles.
A full house backfield.
Handoff again to Kerr. Keyshawn wrapped up close to the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard there on 3rd down.
Oh, you mentioned in the open, Pat, about how Coach Driscoll for St. Mary's talks about gang tackling and everybody runs the ball. That's exactly what they did on that 3rd down play. Kerr is used to having some kind of room to cut back or make a decision, but there was nothing there at all.
I'm sure the Spartans know, too, that Kerr is the big play running back for English. They're keen on him, most likely defensively.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see a screen pass to Kerr probably the next time English gets the football.
Eagles going to punt the football now from their own 46-yard line. Osario back to punt, and it's Brown back to receive. Brown with 1 punt return for a touchdown already this season. Slow snap. Excellent kick there for Osario to get that off like that. It's going to roll, take an English bounce all the way down to the 17-yard line. So Osario doing a nice job avoiding the rush.
I was just going to say, the English was lucky to have the quarterback back there as the punter, because he made a good judgment. He was able to get it off even with pressure on him, because the defender who was coming through did have a chance for a clean shot at a block. Osario not only avoided that, but like you said, made a good punt. Both teams 2 turnovers here in the first 6-7 minutes. It's like, I guess that, I mean, we said there's some jitters, obviously, but I really think it's got to be a slippery ball too. So that's something they got to adjust to.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder too for these playoff games, if they try a new football, and sometimes
that's
it's not
possible,
broken in yet,
because those are the slipperiest, the brand new ones.
Right, they have kind of like a film on them when you first get them.
Yeah.
And now we have some early movement, I believe, on St. Mary's.
I'm back.
Okay. They had an I formation that time, and the fullback, which is the closest back to the line of scrimmage, was in motion. So, excuse me, that helps the English cause a little bit. Cost St. Mary's 5 yards. Yeah, English has got to be feeling, well, now St. Mary's is going to take a timeout. English has got to be feeling a little sort of back on their heels because they haven't been able to do anything. They're 3 and out the one time they've had the ball from scrimmage. They got the 2 turnovers. They got the big plays against them defensively. So I think at this point, this is actually it's a good. St. Mary's called the timeout, but it's a good timeout for English because they know they've got to play some good defense now. So far, they've seen a long pass go against them over 40 yards. They've seen a couple of runs. One was called back, but then the second one from Brown was, I mean, like you said, that step move. That's college type move.
No question. Yeah, that was.
So you can see why he's coming in with 16 touchdowns. So
right.
Clearly, he's the key guy.
Right now, St. Mary's with 115 total offensive yards here in the first half of the first quarter. Of course, a couple of those on a drive where they fumbled the football, so it was, an unproductive amount of yards. But they've been successful offensively despite the turnovers. Now on 1st and 15.
Good job.
And Kalangis again on the carry.
Juan Carter that time. Now, again, see, we watched the left of your screen. We're 14 right there. He took on the blocker, was able to shed, and then come and make the tackle. Now, remember back to the Latin Academy game, we called Carter's name a lot. When Latin Academy was trying to get running plays out of their 2 running backs, Polanco and Crispin, similar to Brown and Kalangis tonight.
Now on 2nd and 11, it's going to be Barry on the quarterback keeper. He gets drilled right around the 23-yard line. That's going to be a solid gain there on 2nd down for St. Mary's.
Yeah, Denzel Pierce. Watch Pierce come left to your screen, like you said. Oh, good tackle. He shoulder to shoulder. I think he was trying to jaw the ball loose again.
And Mark him down at the 24-yard line, so it's actually an 8-yard gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 3 now for St. Mary's.
Looked like Barry might have had the wind knocked out in the way he's jogging back to the huddle.
Yeah, he took a shot that time from Pierre. Both these teams know it's postseason, the way they're hitting right now to start the game. 3rd and 3 now for St. Mary's. Trying to get English to draw them off sides. A handoff again, straight up the gut. Another nice run here from Brown. Brown with breakaway speed, and he's going to go into the end zone, standing up for another touchdown. 76-yard touchdown run for David Brown.
On a 3rd and 3. I mean, 3rd and 3 is a simple off-tackle play. His offensive lineman clearly just gave him a little bit of a wedge there, and it's just like a track meet.
David Brown with the first 2 touchdowns so far in this game. He's already at 99 yards rushing the football here in the first quarter. Just 3 carries to get to those 99 yards.
33 yards
a carry. His average is only going to go down from here.
Exactly, right. Unless he sits out the rest of the game, right?
Anderson boots it through once again for St. Mary's. Spartans now on top, 14-0 here with 4:11 left to go in the first quarter.
See, it's wide open. The linebackers don't close. And once he beats the safety, no one's going to catch him. Looked like Keyshawn Kerr had a chance, but couldn't quite get there.
Boston English now in a bit of a hole here, down by 2 touchdowns with just 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
Watch it again. See, it's the linebackers were used to closing. Kerr actually had a bad angle on that. He came up too far, so by the time he tried to turn around and run, you're giving Brown, who's like a sprinter, you're giving him like a head start. And the English they're going to deal right now with the fact they know they're getting defeated at the line of scrimmage, allowing these running gaps for Kalangis and mainly for Brown, but also themselves, they only had the ball for a few plays, and they've done nothing. So they right now need a big play. Doesn't matter what kind it is, whether it's a screen pass, a draw play, or maybe even a quarterback run. You got to get a couple of first downs to feel like you're even in the game.
Is boot for St. Mary's that goes out of bounds right around the 15-yard line. So that'll be illegal procedure on the Spartans, and English will have a decision to make as to where they want the football.
I think they'll take the field position. They don't want to.
Because they could back them up and make them kick again.
That's true. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, they are going to make the Spartans kick again. Illegal procedure on St. Mary's.
Yeah, I mean, now that you think about it, you have Kerr back there, and if anyone's going to make a big play for you, it'll be Kerr. He's back there with Vattel. Well, both of them are capable, so any kind of return now can set English up with decent field position.
Now, if you're English, you got to be ready for that little pooch kick too.
Of course. Yeah. That's everybody else has got to be on the ready to just pounce on it. Don't try to pick it up. Just jump on it and curl up. Keep possession.
Yeah, I think with the re-kick, though, certainly English is looking for a big play, so maybe it'll happen here with a nice return.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that's why you make them kick it over again.
One time a coach also pointed out to me, too, when you make them kick it again, all those guys on their kicking team just sprinted down the field. You got to make them do it a second time. Now they're a little more tired. Stumbling past the 30-yard line that time for English was Najim Vattel.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of space there on the sideline, too.
I was just going to say, it looked like he had an opening.
Turf Monster took him out that time near the sideline. So unfortunately for English, possibly an opportunity for a big play.
Yeah, sometimes when you stumble like that on artificial turf, when you look and you're getting ready to make that, go into that second gear, I think that's what Vattel was doing, because he did have a little bit of room.
So Marco Sario and the English offense now back out on the field from their own 34-yard line. We'll see if English can string a drive together. On first down to the big fullback Anderson Guerrero up front. He's got nowhere to go with it, as it's Sacco coming across to make the tackle.
As we said earlier, both teams have a number of players who are playing both ways. It's true for both of these teams. And Coach Driscoll, like mentioned to you, that he feels so much more comfortable because he knows he has his better athletes on both sides of the ball. Similar to English. I mean, I think that at some point we're going to have to look for Osario to become a running threat. We know he can throw the ball, but a little twist needs to be put in.
Now on second down, it's Gethers again trying to churn forward for a couple of yards. Makes his way up to the 38-yard line. So we'll be 3rd and 6 now for the English Eagles. Pick up 3 on the play.
Again, see, English has only had a few plays from scrimmage so far. I think it's 5 now, so they've got to put something together on this play.
Under 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. 3rd and 6 for the English Eagles. Osario now going to take it himself. Marco Osario to the edge, and he scampers out of bounds past the 45-yard line. First down, English.
He's going to be key, because obviously by having a play fake to Kerr, that was after the fake. He can make an angle, gets beyond the defensive ends, and makes the run to the first down. Very important play. That was a very important play. They got the first down, plus now St. Mary's knows that Osario's a running threat too. They probably knew it already from scouting, but you gotta, until you see it, you don't really know. Because I know he deceived us a number of times earlier in the season with his speed.
Now on first down out of the spread formation, Osario over the left side had a receiver. Ball popped into the air as that play was broken up by Kalangis.
Trying for Vattel. Vattel did a good job. He got in front of the safety. Good protection. Yeah, Vattel did a good job. He was able to get in front of the safety, but they both went for it about the same time. It's interesting, the way that St. Mary's is playing the defense. They're stopping English's running from the scrimmage, but both times that we've seen Osario go back to pass, he's had good protection.
That's right.
Clean pocket and getting the ball out smoothly.
Second down and 10 now for the Eagles after that incomplete pass. And once again, Keyshawn Kerr being eaten up in the backfield.
It's like they have, I don't know for sure, but it seems like.
I'm sorry, that was Anderson Guerrero.
They have two of their a lineman and a linebacker just waiting for any running play. You're right, Guerrero. Yeah, they try to have Keyshawn as the lead blocker.
Speaking of Coach Driscoll before the game, he mentioned Falaska, who's that defensive tackle who just made the play, and also Martin Morange as a good middle linebacker for St. Mary's.
Hey, let's not forget, they came into the game 7-1.
That's right.
Okay. Averaging over 30 points a game.
3rd and 12 now for English. Osario going to take it this time, but nowhere to go with it for the English quarterback. He's going to be brought down at the English 47. English is going to have to punt the football one more time.
Yeah, I think for the remainder of this game, Osario is going to have to be an offensive weapon. We know he can throw the ball, but I think that they may have to get to that option rollout, because he's actually pretty good in motion, where he can roll out and either make the decision to pass or run. Because you gotta make St. Mary's make decisions as opposed to just playing the areas. He was actually the second time I saw Jonathan Paul from English, big number 67, a couple of good blocks for Osario.
Yeah, you saw him making a nice block out front there, but we mentioned the gang tackling for St. Mary's.
They're all come.
And Osario fakes the punt. Now he's going to take it himself, and he's wrapped up at the 45. Yeah. Nowhere to make that the 46. Nowhere to go there for Osario, and St. Mary's will then take over on downs at their English 46-yard line.
Well, this one, if he had tried to punch it, it was probably going to be blocked. So I don't know if he decided earlier or not, but there's too much leakage in terms of the punt protection. I mean, he had two of the St. Mary's Spartans, honing in on him, and definitely one of them had the ankle for a block. So I don't think that was a bad play.
Yeah, that was sort of the only thing Osario could do right there after he saw the pressure in his face. First and 10 now for the St. Mary's Spartans. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Ali Barry back to throw again. Now he's got to scramble. He's ripped up in the backfield, and he fumbles the football again. And English recovers again, this time at the St. Mary's 31-yard line. Make that the 41.
St. Mary's rolls out to the right every time they're going to throw the ball. And this is the second time. Well, he just dropped it, that one. That one, it actually hit his thigh. He was trying to get away from the rush, and the ball hit his thigh. So, big break for English.
Joseph Bailey coming up with the fumble recovery. So now English takes over in St. Mary's territory at the 41. Third turnover of the game so far for the Spartans. Malachi McClure at the bottom of your screen. Osario looking for Malachi down the right side, and Malachi can't come up with the catch. David Brown there to deflect that one.
Again, decent protection. Yeah, he wanted Malachi to come back for it. To turn into a jump ball, and Brown, even though he's behind, was able to get the deflection. I don't know if there's a screen pass in the book. I think this is where it could be effective.
Keyshawn Kerr actually had a 50-yard touchdown reception last week against a non-contest game against Dennis Yarmouth. You see Keyshawn with a nice run over the left side.
That's almost a first down. Wow.
As he makes his way up to the 31-yard line, right on the sticks. We'll see if they give it to him.
They give it to him.
They gave him the first down.
So that's going to make him feel a little better, because he's used to doing this and getting first downs easily. So that last little dive there.
They actually gave him a pretty good spot. They mark him down at the 30. Looked like he was brought down at the 31.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to run the first. Well, they're going to try to run a play. Less than 10 seconds to go.
See if English gets this off. And they do get it off before the end of the first quarter. Osario thought about going inside, is now wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go there for the English quarterback. And I believe that is going to do it for the first quarter here from Manning Field in Lynn. First round of the Division 6 playoffs. First quarter was owned by the Spartans. David Brown with a 76-yard touchdown run. We'll be right back with the second quarter, folks, here on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn for the Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs. We're in the first round as the English Eagles are visiting the St. Mary's Spartans. And our sideline reporter, Milton Posner, has an update for us. Milton, what do you got?
Hey, guys, got a chance to hear what the English head coach Ryan Conway was saying to his guys a few plays ago. He was talking to his offensive line, telling them you got to toughen up, you got to be stronger, you got to afford better protection. He's not happy with the protection so far, telling his guys explicitly, these are not the teams, or this team is not the squads that we've been playing before. They are better, they are stronger, they're more athletic. We got to get after it. On the other side, on the Spartan side, head coach Driscoll furious with some of his guys. 3 fumbles there in the first quarter. They're up 14-0. They know they could be up a lot more than that. They need to tighten the screws. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Milton. And yeah, up front in the trenches is where English has been losing some battles. We'll see if they can straighten that out here in the second quarter. Osario going to take off and run with it. It's got some space. Mark Osario still on his feet. Osario back up the seam. He's going to be dragged down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Wow, 22-yard run for Osario. This is going to, whatever your game plan was, if that wasn't part of it, having him run pass option for the rest of this game, that's what he has to have, because that's the one thing the St. Mary's defense doesn't seem like they're set for. He must have some big hands because he had the ball out in front of him. Made a spin and, like you said, get it down 22 yards inside the 10-yard line. By far, English's best chance to get a score for this playoff game.
Certainly the deepest that English has gone into St. Mary's territory, now at the 8-yard line. On first down, they try to run the sweep with Keyshawn Kerr. Tries to cut back. Kerr bottled up slightly, but does get a yard or two there on first down.
Made something out of nothing. I mentioned screen pass earlier, and also the way we're seeing this St. Mary's defense swarm. Something misdirection they might be vulnerable to. And English has all those plays.
Second and goal now from the 7-yard line for the English Eagles. Patel, the only receiver split out for English as they give it to Kerr again. Keyshawn wrapped up in the backfield, might have lost a yard on the play.
He got chased down from behind, actually. Yeah, the offside block, opposite side didn't afford Keyshawn any kind of room. But I think the English sideline has seen that Osario on the run with a run-pass option that's the most success they've had. And also they haven't tried a short pass yet. They haven't really thrown any short passes. Everything's been deeper downfield.
Third and goal now for the English Eagles, certainly in 4-down territory. Man in motion is Kerr. Handoff to Gethers. Terrell Gethers up the middle for a touchdown. The English senior crossing the goal line. Nice run by him as English gets their first score of the game.
Now, what comes into play right now, you see Gethers, that was by far the best hold that the English offensive line has afforded anybody so far this game. What comes into play, we've seen English all year, they go for 2 points. All right, they don't trust their place kicking situation, so being 14-6 or 14-8 game is totally different.
We'll see what the Eagles try to do here to tack on the 2-point conversion. Try to stretch it with Curry, cuts it back up the middle. Keyshawn tries to dive forward. Did he get in? Yes, he did. Keyshawn Kerr converts the 2-point conversion. And like you mentioned, now that's a big play.
It is, and especially given the fact that they've stopped Kerr the entire half so far. Look at this little jab step there. He'll twist and dive. That dive is what got him the 2 points. Amazing effort for Kerr. And he's got to feel a little better. I mean, he was the one the safeties got burned on that 70-something yard touchdown run. But at the same time, it's a long game. We're only in the second quarter. So English is now starting to feel like, okay, well, now we can do some of the things we've been doing all season.
Right.
It makes the entire game different.
And also, these guys look up now, and they're only down 1 touchdown, too, which I think is such a different mindset than when you're down a couple of scores.
No doubt about that.
The English Eagles are able to break the plane of the end zone. They tack on the 2-point conversion as well. Cut the St. Mary's lead down to 6. So English now going to kick off to the Spartans. Short kick down the middle of the field, fielded by St. Mary's right around the 32-yard line. On the return there was David Brown.
He's everywhere. They put him on the second line, thinking the English was going to pooch kick, which they did. And Brown, good athlete, catches it on the run, gets away from Patel, and is able to tack on like a 10-yard return.
They mark him down at the 41, so that's where St. Mary's will start their first possession of the second quarter.
This is an important part of the game for the English defense. I mean, they've been able to force a couple of turnovers, which is good. You know, Driscoll, coach for St. Mary's, is going to do something different with the quarterback Ali on that rollout because they've been burned by it twice.
1st and 10 now for the Spartans. It's David Brown again. Brown out in the open field, rumbles down to about midfield. Picks up a 9-yard gain there on 1st down.
David Brown on the carry.
Man, he's only a junior. I mean, when you think about, we've already seen his speed. I mean, obviously it helps to have a running room like that. But the English, the down 4 linemen just got you, like Coach Coleman was saying, you got to get stronger.
2nd and 1 now for the Spartans. Little cutback that time by Kalangis, and he's wrapped up at the English 46-yard line. So Kalangis picks up a 1st down for St. Mary's.
Anytime a high school team gets more than 5 or 6 yards on 1st down, defense is at their mercy, and especially when you have 2 really good running backs. Brown clearly is the star, and then Kalangis are very good also.
And don't forget Ali Berry, the quarterback.
Barry,
well.
I mean, I think that Barry at this point may be getting affected by those couple of fumbles and sacks he had, or almost sacks.
Now on 1st down for St. Mary's, the give again is to Brown. Brown to the edge. Brown cuts it back up the field to about the 31-yard, make that the 30-yard line. So another nice run there for David Brown. 16-yard carry for Brown. His average just went down after getting.
Well, you just said that, right? Almost in half, right? Well, they had a pulling guard that time, and one of the good things he does, he follows his blocking so well. He's able to change speeds when he needs to. Let his teammates get the blocks that they want. And the way he's always running on a slant, so he has a chance to decide which way he wants to go.
They give it again to Kalangis. Kalangis now making a couple of nice moves. Kalangis still on his feet, heading towards the end zone, and he blasts in, standing up for a touchdown. Heck of a run there for Derek Kalangis.
Well, we talked about Brown. His was a little more spectacular with 76 yards, but this one is actually just as impressive. It's set to go up the middle. He pops outside, a little juke step to get away from the safety. Comes back, and now he just, like I said, lets his teammate get in front, throw that last block that was necessary, and there's nothing else there. Keyshawn couldn't do anything about that one. So now we're going to have some trickery and get the extra point. They're trying for 2 points.
They did sort of the formation where they actually had the football on the line there and didn't actually hike it at the same spot. Let's take a look at. Here's the touchdown run from Kalangis.
Running through arm tackles. That's going to be the story of the entire game. You don't average over 30 points without having a couple of backs who can run through arm tackles.
I'd like to take, if we can get a look at that last play. I'm not sure if we can, but that was a strange formation because they brought the football with them. Then when they moved the line,
as long as it's not outside the hash marks, it's okay. And they still have to have the lineman at the line of scrimmage. It's trickery to try to get the 2 points back, but it was a decent setup. English was able to spread their guys out well enough to stop it.
St. Mary's now on the kickoff. We'll see if English can come up with a big play here. Pretty solid return for the Eagles as they make their way up to the 35-yard line. And they still move the rugby scrum of players up to the 38. There in the return was Najim Patel.
Yeah, Patel, nice strong move.
Return of 18 yards for English.
He was in such a big pile that the officials couldn't even see if he was stopped or not, so they didn't blow the whistle until he gained another 3 or 4 yards.
So English now trailing by 12 here with just over 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It's Osorio going to try to take it himself, trying to get to the edge. Excellent defense that time. As Kalangis was forcing him to the outside, then coming up to make the tackle for St. Mary's was Alif Potter, their sophomore defensive back.
Osorio, like I said, his running ability is gonna be one of the few threats that English will have left. So you have him trying to get to the outside, like you said. Oh, he rolled his ankle right there. Oh, he's a little. Luckily, he's nothing serious.
It's amazing how sometimes players with one little movement, they tear up their knee, and then you see another play where it looks like their ankle's about to be out of its socket, and it's totally fine.
Yeah. No, but his running is going to be key. I really think it's going to help when they go back to the passing game because now St. Mary's knows he's a legitimate running threat.
Spread formation now for the Eagles. One back in the backfield, it's Keyshawn Kerr. They try to throw the screen to Kerr, and it was almost intercepted as Kalangis. That was Marks. That was the defensive end out of that spot. Almost made the interception.
That's the play I was been asking for. But again, because St. Mary's blitzed on the play, too much pressure on Osorio. He's going back, throwing back. He did a good job to get it in between because you're right. That it should have been picked off by Marks. I mean, he read it correctly. He was in front of Kerr. Had an excellent chance to pick it off.
3rd and 8 now for the Eagles. They got to get to the 48-yard line for a first down. They run it with Kerr. Keyshawn nowhere to go now, spins out of a tackle, but good job by St. Mary's to hang on to him. Looked like might have been Morangis and also, Moranje was there to grab onto his jersey, and a couple other Spartans came across to make the tackle.
Spartans have like you said, a number of the kids are getting out there. They're all running to where he's trying to go, not to where he is, where he's trying to go, so that he ends up trying to spin and reverse his field. None of that's going to work against this team.
So English will have to punt the football one more time, now on 4th and 13 from their own 35-yard line, coming up on 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Osorio, much cleaner protection this time. Line drive punt. That continues to roll past the 20-yard line.
Good job. Yeah.
Down to about the 18. So another solid net yardage there for English on the punt. 38-yard kick, no return. And they pin him inside the 20-yard line once again.
Well, we talk about the St. Mary's offense. Okay, they rang up 42 points the first game. They ran up 62 in the second game. 28, 21, 35, 41. And 42. So their only loss, they had 20 points. So well over an average of 30 points a game. So they're more used to what's going on right now without, of course, the turnovers. Now, English has forced a couple of those turnovers. They've got to continue to try to do that. But also, the halftime adjustments offensively, English has got to somehow figure out some better line blocking for the running backs.
Now it's Barry on the option. He's going to be wrapped up again in the backfield. That's the one play that hasn't beat English so far. Barry tucking it in and running here in the first half.
Well, they've been able to run him down. See, he makes the fake, but English stays in that time.
Tyshawn Jackson in the backfield for the stop. Also in there for the gang tackle, I believe it was Jalen Jones.
That's exactly the kind of rush and movement English needs more of, because they're getting beat with the initial push. The initial block is what's giving Brown and Kalangis the room to break the line of scrimmage.
Right now, the two running backs for St. Mary's, Brown and Kalangis, have combined for 202 rushing yards here in the first half. Still got 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Here's Brown again, and he's got a full head of steam heading towards the sideline.
Again, like I said, it's sweep to the left. Part of it's his speed, but also the fact that the angle that he runs on, he's going to make a decent. Coming back in is Jackson, but Browns is just a smart runner. He just goes where he needs to go to find some space.
Mark him down at the 29-yard line. So 13-yard run there for Brown. First down, St. Mary's. Now it's Kalangis on the carry. The big fella breaking some tackles. Kalangis into English territory right around the 44, make that the 45-yard line.
Well, you said big fella, Pat. It's big fella with speed.
That's right.
Because he just sort of threw off. Well, he runs through an arm tackle again. Now watch him just throw off the tackler here.
Gain of 25 and a first down, 1st and 10, St. Mary's. Off the Boston English 45.
Both backs for the Spartans now over 100 yards on the ground. Boston English takes a timeout here with 4:42 left to go in the second quarter. And Coach Conway, I'm sure, is now looking at the scoreboard saying, we got to kind of clamp down here, because if we give up another score, we're down 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that right now, St. Mary's can use this timeout to figure out a pass play. Remember, they started the game, first play of the game, they hit a 40-yard bomb. So they come back with that right now because English is trying to concentrate on stopping those running backs.
That's right. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. A lot of good stuff up on that site, including updates on what games we're going to be covering. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag Boston GOW. We got an update from our sideline reporter, Milton Posner, who's down on the field. Milton, what do you got?
Hey guys, we mentioned on this broadcast about Ali Berry, the quarterback here for the Spartans, about what a versatile athlete he is. Also a member of the basketball team at St. Mary's, as is David Brown. But more than that, this was a guy that was never penciled in to be the starting quarterback, a guy who as recently as 2019 was playing exclusively a different position. But they gave him a couple of starts. He showed them what they could do, and the coaches saw what we're seeing here today, which is that he is a capable signal caller, and they've got a great dual threat quarterback on their hands. 6 rushing touchdowns, 5 passing touchdowns coming into this evening, and you're seeing, apart from his defense, just how versatile an offensive player he can be. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Milton. Ali Berry, the senior quarterback for this Spartans team. The senior quarterback wants to make a run here in the playoffs.
Of course, yeah. He has a good chance for it, too.
Now on first down, it's Kalangis again, straight up the gut, inside the 25, down to the 23.
That's got to be upsetting for Coach Conway. He called a timeout just to reset the defense, and they all got blocked, and actually one of the English players went down. Is that Fattel? Yeah, he was part of the tackle, but he went down hard and stayed down.
But he does result in a first down, 1st and 10, St. Mary's ball for the Boston English 34.
Yeah, I still can't quite see the number. I think
it's Fattel. Yeah.
It is Fattel, though.
Yeah,
you're right, Alan.
He was coming from the defensive backfield trying to make that stop. But again, it's the same. It's like a broken record. I mean, the initial thrust by the offensive line for St. Mary's is creating all types of running room for all the running backs. Yeah, Patel looks. Yeah,
he's banged up.
Time. His right leg is really not allowing him to put much pressure on it. It's too bad. He's one of the key guys.
He is.
Plays both ways.
Very good receiver.
Plays special teams.
Yep.
You know, is a punt returner, kick returner. Let's just hope it's not anything serious.
So after the Patel injury, it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Spartans. A handoff to David Brown again, and Brown cuts it back up the middle, makes his way down to the 26-yard line.
A little misdirection that time is they've been just using direct handoffs up until this point. They made one pitch and a sweep. That time, he was the second guy coming through, like a fake to the fullback, and then Brown's second man through just takes the handoff. But again, because the line is really, they're getting the initial block, and the running backs are able to read where the space is or where the angle is. They do it very well.
That's actually the first run for David Brown that wasn't good for a 1st down that time.
Well,
only picked up 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2 now, and it's Brown again with the carry. Brown again shoots forward. That one's definitely for a 1st down and more as they mark him down at the 15-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you, this is probably the best example of ground and pound that we've seen all season. I mean, it all starts up front, and you hear it so much, it's almost like a cliche, but it's very true. And this is a perfect example of it. The offensive linemen for St. Mary's, they just came out and they've taken control of the game since the start.
Yeah, each running back already has a couple of yards in front of them before they even see an English defender right now.
You get a head of steam going, then you can decide which way to go.
Ali Barry again wrapped up.
He's the only one having a tough time.
Right.
I mean, he's getting swarmed every time he tries to run.
Deshaun Jackson again coming across.
Yeah, Jackson that time stayed in this area and also recognized that Barry had made a fake to the running back, tried to keep it. Now, this is a really impressive running game for St. Mary's.
Second and 11 now for the Spartans. Man in motion is Brown once again. David Brown looking for the edge. Tries to stay in bounds, but is forced out at the 3-yard line. 13-yard pickup there for David Brown.
There you see a nice field camera look at this one. Is Brown. This is what I mean when I say he uses the blockers, slows down, creates a gap, and adds up more yards in it pretty much every play. Like you said, a couple of plays ago. For the first time, a carry of his didn't result in a 1st down. But we're back to Milton, 1st down again.
Now 1st and goal for St. Mary's. Our sideline reporter Milton Posner has an update for us. Milton, what do you got going on?
Hey guys, just got a quick update for you on Nadim Patel. We saw him exit the game with what appeared to be a leg injury. He's having his right knee, it looks like, worked on the bench there. He should be good to go going forward. Not sure exactly how much we'll see him, but he should be available if head coach Ryan Conway wants to call his number. Back to you.
Milton, thanks so much. They're certainly going to need him, as Kalangis should have just waltzes in for a touchdown on that play. Second touchdown of the night for him, but again, the push up front. He was basically already in the end zone after even getting close to an English defender. Michael Anderson now there to tack on the PAT.
Good.
Anderson buries it. 27-8 now for St. Mary's, and like you mentioned, their rushing attack is just so tough to defend.
It's a very simple game. And you talk about basic football, safest plays are always running plays on offense. And it's what the old saying, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad.
That's right.
So, I mean, and it's interesting that they came out the very first play of the game and threw that 40-yard pass. Because it's almost like a set up all this running. I mean, Kalangis and Brown coming into the game, you know they're the main guys. But you know, Barry, let's not forget, Barry throughout the season has been like a third option type runner. So the fact that English has really bottled him up is, you know, it's a good thing, but they haven't been able to do much of anything against Brown or Colangers. I mean, Barry, he was rolling out the 2 fumbles he had. He was on the rollouts. And English had good pressure on him and forced well, one of them was knocked out. The second one hit his leg and it fell out.
Najim Patel and Keyshawn Kerr again back to receive for the English Eagles. Just over 2 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Kerr having a tough time fielding the football, finally picks it up right around the 11. Keyshawn looking for the edge, and he's tripped up right around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, not much of anything going right for English on offense. I mean, usually Keyshawn catches that on the fly and can tack on a decent return.
The English Eagles, we'll see what they try to do here. If they try to throw the football a little bit, or with already down by 19, you just kind of, you know, run the football, see if one pops, and then maybe go for it.
I was just going to say, I think you see what happens the first play, because you definitely don't want to have a turnover to give away more points.
Kerr, the lone back in the backfield, spread formation for English. It's Osario and the keeper, and he's going to get dragged down.
Yeah, tried to fake to Kerr to fake handoff to Kerr. Rosario keeps it, and again, that defensive front for St. Mary's, and again, like a couple of those guys are also on the offensive line, so they've been essentially controlling the line of scrimmage.
So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for English. Clock continues to wind down. Close to a minute left to go here in the first half. Anderson Guerrero carrying the pile.
Wow. Now that's... Let's see if...
Excuse me, that's Jamari Howard with the carry. My apologies.
Good run by Howard. You see him keeping those legs churning. He's close to a first down.
So 9-yard gain there for Howard on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 1 now for the English Eagles with just over a minute left to go here in the second quarter.
You got to think, you know, psychologically, English is just not used to having this many points run up against them. I mean, they scored 36 in one game. They actually beat Lynn Tech. But other than that, I mean, when in their loss, when they lost to Chelsea, it was a 12-6 game. So to look up and see 27 points on the board in the first half, I mean, that's demoralizing up by itself.
Yeah, English averaging about just under 11 yards a game, giving up 11 yards a game on defense.
11 points, yeah.
Excuse me, 11 points.
11 points, right.
And per game on defense, which is, you know, you're almost at triple that here in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating enough to get beaten, you know, by just good play. There's not any trick plays. These are all basic handoffs. Need a yard here.
3rd and 1 now for the English Eagles. A handoff over the right side. It's Gethers.
Good run by
Escaping
Gethers,
a couple of tacklers. Gethers plowing forward up to the 42. Make that the 41, excuse me.
Not sure if it made a difference, but Malachi McClure was put in as a wide receiver on the play, so that might have actually spread out the defense a little bit. But like you said, all Gethers on that. Once he hit the line of scrimmage, now we'll see Osario's arm.
Clock continues to wind down to about 36 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Be down to 30 when they get it off. Osario now looking to throw, stepping up in the pocket. Now going to tuck it in and run. Osario with a nice run, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock as he makes his way into St. Mary's territory at the Spartans 45.
Well, again, good run by Osario. They want to get it downfield, but if nothing's there, make something out of nothing. Does a good job of it.
13-yard gain on that run.
Want to build on something, and some good plays on offense before halftime can be key. So they got a real mountain to climb.
They actually marked him down at the 46, so a 12-yard gain there for Osorio. 23 seconds left to try to do something here for the English Eagles. Osorio looking to throw. And he's just going to be dropped right around the 44-yard line. Yeah. And now English does call timeout.
Yeah, Osario's, first of all, trying to create some space to try to get the ball off, but once you can sort of feel the guys coming from behind, tuck it in and call the timeout.
Osorio now 50 yards on the ground here in the first half. Really the only player that's been, super productive rushing the football. Although Terrell Gathers has had some nice runs. He had the touchdown run. He had that run before to get that first down. He's got 32 yards on the ground. Those two players have been really the most successful.
Oh, no, definitely. Clearly, the defense keyed on Kerr. Kerr, he's getting tackled even when the ball is faked to him. He doesn't have it. He's still getting tackled. So
that's right.
That shows you that the defense for the Spartans is totally keying on Keyshawn.
So out of the timeout, 13 seconds left to go here in the first half for the English Eagles. They're in St. Mary's territory at the 43-yard line.
Might get 2 plays off.
Osorio escapes some pressure. Now he's going to tuck it in and run again. Osorio down the sideline. Another big pickup there for the English quarterback. Clock stops with 5 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
Now he's gotten himself close enough now. He can toss it into the end zone. You see, good job. Hesitation. Makes the defense think he might throw it, but by the time he clears the sideline, he got a good gain. Now he definitely has the arm to get to the end zone.
Yeah, they marked him down at the 25-yard line. So,
let me see. McClure should be in there, the wide receiver, number 1. Yeah, yep, he's in there. And then,
Malachi's
actually,
in
there. They usually.
Malachi's 6'3". Certainly a receiver you want to look for throwing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Well, they run a trick play here as Osorio is now at the bottom of your screen. I think it's Denzel Pierre there in the backfield. Denzel can throw the football, as we mentioned, escapes some pressure, wants to get rid of it, and Denzel has nowhere to go with it. That's going to do it for the first half here at Manning Field, as English is unable to get anything going there at the end of the second quarter. Eagles trailing the St. Mary's Spartans 27-8 here in the first quarter, and you can see why the St. Mary's team is averaging over 36 points a game.
Oh, no doubt about that. I mean, the running starts. It all starts with the running because on the very basic plays, they're just defeating the defensive line of English. So that's the first problem. Second problem is English just has gotten such a slow start offensively themselves. A couple of turnovers, a couple of 3-and-outs, and before you know it, you're giving these running backs, both Kalangis and Brown, a lot of running room. And like I said, I'm really impressed by the fact that it's very basic. It's nothing trick. There's very little trickery at all. Between tackles, slants, they had that one big sweep that they used. So it's Coach Conway was right when he just said you just got to be stronger and tougher.
That's right. One of the coaches is down on the sideline with Milton Posner. Milton, take it away.
Here with Coach Conway. And Coach, you're looking at the St. Mary's team for the first time this season. What have you noticed about them compared to the teams that you played before?
They're just executing. They caught us off guard with the first play from scrimmage. And then the initial kickoff, we were sleeping. We just didn't show up. Hopefully we wake up after this halftime game and get a good run at it. I don't think it's anything that we can't recover from. They just got to want it.
And what's the message going to be to the team in halftime? Where are the screws that you guys got to tighten to cut into the lead?
Oh, we just got to execute up front. Like, and it's just, you know, and we're just not doing what we're supposed to do up front. It's just, you know, and we got to string together and get a good lather, and we're not doing that. And, you know, and it's just, you know, we got to work harder. We got to execute, and we're just not executing. 3 turnovers. You know, we should be, you know, 3 turnovers should have recovered that gap from what we had, and we just didn't do what we were supposed to do up front. We're just not executing. So, you know, that's going to be the message in here is you got to execute number 1, and you got to want it number 2. St. Mary showed up. Like, this is a playoff, so anything can happen. Like, it's, you know, we got to go.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck going forward. Guys, back to you.
Milton, thank you so much. We always, of course, appreciate Coach Conway's time, especially, you know, here at the half. They're trying to get things done here with their team at the half. But, you know, you can tell Coach Conway, who's always an enthusiastic coach and has been helping build this English program back up. And you know that he sees an opportunity when you have a playoff game like that. And I think he kind of feels like it's kind of slipping away for this English team.
Well, he's disgusted by that first half, you could tell. And like you said, he's usually pretty upbeat and excited. I think he's surprised as well as disappointed by and you know, you don't want to, you know, point out particular players, but the offensive line for English is just not playing strong enough. The defensive line, which in some cases the same guys, is not playing strong enough.
Right.
And that's where they're getting beat. I mean, it's like we talked about St. Mary's coming in, averaging over 30 points on offense every single game, and rang up 62 against one opponent this year. So they're capable of really putting up big numbers. But this game is just about strength. Like Coach Conway said, you got to want it more. And for some reason, he's not seeing it. We're not seeing it. Even on the replays, we can see what's happening. It's blocking and tackling. And on both sides of the ball, St. Mary's has just been dominant.
That's right. Basic football, and St. Mary's is executing that basic football, at least so far here through the first half. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime stats, some halftime highlights before we get ready for the third quarter here from Manning Field and Lynn on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
Never graduated from high school. I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each
year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America.
I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school.
Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch.
Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs, and that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
How prepared is your family if disaster shows up at your doorstep? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan before they show up. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes!
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn. We're at the half between St. Mary's and Boston English. St. Mary's on top 27-8 here in the first round of the MIAA Football Playoffs Division 6. We're going to take a look at the halftime stats here from Manning Field. And first up, it's going to be the English Eagles.
Well, a bit of a surprise. Osario, the quarterback, the leading rusher, 66 yards, 10 carries. He'll have to continue doing that and even more to get this English offense back into the game. Gathers, like you mentioned, had some nice runs between tackles, 4 carries for 32 yards, nothing receiving, 0 for 4 for Osario trying to throw the ball.
Let's take a look at the St. Mary's halftime stats.
Boy, numbers everywhere. You see Brown and Kalangis. Matter of fact, combined, they have 289 yards running on 18 carries. That's about almost 16 yards per carry, Pat, on average. Okay, receiving, Sacco, 2 for 54 to start the game, that 40-yard pass. And then passing, see, Ali Barry's only thrown the ball twice, completed both, 54 yards, and he may not have to throw the ball the rest of the game if the score stays the way it is. Yeah.
And we get some halftime highlights here between the 2 running backs of St. Mary's. They've been outstanding.
Yeah, we talked about 289 yards between the 2 of them. There's Brown, who we knew coming in was one of the main guys, and this is Kalangis running through English tacklers and good gains. And again, between Brown, number 2, and Kalangis, number 8, 289 yards in one half. Couple of touchdowns. And before you know, you're up by 27-8.
There's that 76-yard touchdown run from David Brown there in the first half. And, you know, it's been so hard to stop these 2 running backs. We mentioned that Ali Barry is a dual-threat quarterback. He's actually probably the one player that kind of just had a tough first half there because everybody else has been outstanding.
The English defense has been able to put pressure on Barry. He rolls out with the run-pass option a few times. Matter of fact, he lost the ball twice doing that because he got pressured, got sacked once. So you're right. He's the only one of their triple running backs who's not really done much offensively. But believe me, the other 2 have done more than enough to control that first half.
So an outstanding rushing attack there in the first half for St. Mary's. Folks, we're going to head to another break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the 3rd quarter here from Manning Field in Lynn, the Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs between St. Mary's and English. St. Mary's on top, 27-8. We'll see if the Eagles can come back here in the second half. Make sure you stick around.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn as the St. Mary's Spartans lead the English Eagles 27-8 here in the first round of the Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs. We're just about ready to start the third quarter here from Manning Field. We'll see if the English Eagles, who are looking to receive, try to pick up some kind of big play here to get things going in the third quarter.
Well, I'm sure they're awake. I'm sure their ears are ringing from what Coach Conway had to say. Lots to try to fix.
English fields it right around the 10-yard line. We'll see if the Eagles can get a decent return here as Keyshawn Kerr tries to wiggle his way out of some tackles. I'm sorry, that was Najim Patel on the return as he's wrapped up right around the 25-yard line.
Well, actually, it's good to see Patel back in the game because he had that right leg issue. No, that's McClure, I'm sorry. That's Malachi McClure. Actually in there for Patel.
You wonder, too, with Malachi's playmaking ability, if Coach Conway wants to kind of throw a wrinkle in there, see if they can get something going.
I would think that if they can start with the short passing game, McClure probably would be better for that because it looks like you have St. Mary's giving McClure just one-on-one coverage.
I think the handoff to Keyshawn Kerr. Osario with another nice run here on first down. Makes his way past the 35 up to the 37 for a 12-yard gain.
Well, obviously, Coach Conway saw that's the one thing that's been working for us from scrimmage, so yeah, let's start out with it. I think you're right, Pat. I think the English has to figure out a way to get some passes in the hands of McClure. Let him use that big size of his to rumble downfield. Got to give St. Mary's some different looks.
Now on first down for the Eagles, the handoff to Keyshawn Kerr, and again, he is wrapped up in the backfield.
It's just the point of attack is just not happening for English. It's the exact opposite of what's happening with St. Mary's. See, before he can get back to the line of scrimmage, he's being stood up.
Yeah, Velasquez been living in the English backfield so far here in this game. Keyshawn Kerr with just 5 yards on the ground. Just not what we're used to seeing with Keyshawn. He's such a dynamic running back.
Well, like we say, coming in, definitely one of the best running backs in the city. But you get into the playoffs, you start playing other areas.
They get it to Kerr again. This time, Keyshawn trying to make his way at least back to the line of scrimmage. They mark him down at the 38-yard line, so a 3-yard gain there on second down. It'll be 3rd and 9 for the English Eagles.
Yes, kid, like you said, trying the little slant, looking for any kind of opening, can't quite find anything. So the rollout for Losario, the quarterback, has been their most effective play. Give him the run and pass option. He hasn't completed any passes, but he's done a good job when he does pull it down and run.
Third and 9 now for Boston English.
Trying the first handoff. They had a power I formation with 3 backs, but just nowhere to go for Terrell Geathers.
So it'll be 4th and 9 now for English.
It's tough. You got to watch the body language now for English, as you see the way they're walking off the field.
Another player down on the turf for the Eagles. Can't quite see who it is. Looks like that's DeJuan Carter. So they'll escort Carter off to the sideline. Hopefully he can shake it off and come back in the game.
One of the seniors. Just not able to sustain anything on the English offense from scrimmage. I mean, you get the good run on the first play by Osario, first down run, but then trying to go between tackles, they've had very little success. I think one run by Geathers between tackles toward the end of the first half was about their best effort. So the punting team's going to come out.
Yeah, for a sec, I think English was thinking about going for that first down.
The way the St. Mary's is running the football, to give them a short field just doesn't make sense.
So once again, English will punt the football. Different punter this time for the English Eagles. Can't quite see who's back there. And now on the run here for Boston English, and picking up a first down for the Eagles was Corey Collins. Corey back there to kick. Normally it's Osario who's the punter. So not sure if that was designed with a new punter in there or if that was
Corey Collins
just based on the rush.
The junior, lucky, was able to use his speed to get the first down for English. It's interesting because he hesitated a bit, a quick second, because there's been so much pressure on these punts for English. That time they used the pressure against them, allowing Collins to get out to the outside. First down English, right past midfield.
At the Spartans' 48-yard line, you saw Kerr with some early movements. It's going to back the Eagles up 5 yards to their own 47.
Actually, one of the few penalties in the entire game. And we had a procedure on a kickoff earlier.
We had a block in the back in the first possession.
Yeah, block in the back actually pulled, took a touchdown off the board for St. Mary's.
And it's Denzel Pierre now in for the English Eagles at quarterback. Coach Conway looking to change things up a little bit here.
Looking for a spark, you're right.
On first down, it's Denzel trying to bounce it to the outside. Drags a few defenders with him and makes it out to the 48-yard line. So essentially gains the penalty yardage back.
You see Denzel doing a good job. Trying to run through a couple of tackles and a lot of work for 5 yards, but another English player down.
And a 5 on the play will bring up a 2nd and 10 off the St. Mary's 48.
Again, tough to see which player this is for the English Eagles. Looks like it might even be an offensive lineman.
The trainer's trying to figure out which. Looks like they're trying to deal with the right leg. It's gotten a little colder out here, so it's some of the muscles from the first half, having that cold sink in might be
yeah, Jalen Jones being helped up off the turf by the trainer and Coach Conway. Coach Conway's had to make a few of those trips so far through this game.
It's been injuries or slight injuries. It's been a tough game for English. Yeah, Jalen's a sophomore. Well, you mentioned in the first half that the backup quarterback does have a good arm for English. So we might see him try to throw the ball downfield.
Some more movement up front. Not sure if it's against English or St. Mary's. We'll see what they call.
It's going to be against the offensive, the left tackle procedure.
You get a 5-yard gain to gain the penalty yardage back, then you give it right back on the next play. So back to the English 47, 2nd and 15 now for the Eagles.
Top of your screen, you see the left tackle come out of his stance. Okay, 2 receivers to each side.
Pierre again back to throw, looking down the middle of the field, lofts it up for nobody as Brown is there for the interception at the 13-yard line. He's looking deep down for Collins up the seam, but...
Well, he put a lot under it, a lot of air under it, hoping Collins could run under it. I'm not sure if Collins even saw the ball until it was coming down, because usually when it's that far in the air, the quarterback is hoping his receiver is going to be able to make a play on the ball. But like you said, you had Brown back there like as a free safety, just sort of waiting for it to come down like a like a punt.
So St. Mary's will set up shop at their own 13-yard line after the interception by David Brown. 19-point lead for the Spartans. On first down, nice tackle there for English.
Now, that's got to be one of the few times that the running back has actually been stopped at the line of scrimmage, as we have some different runners there.
Yeah, Joel Maggs, the sophomore, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, English has got to be disappointed pretty much at all levels. When you think about it. It's like Coach Conway said at halftime. Caught by surprise in the first play of the game, a 40-yard pass to set them up for their first touchdown. Then falling asleep on the onside kick.
Another end around here for the Spartans as David Brown is forced out of bounds.
You see Brown again. This time, one of the few times he's gone outside. Most of his running has been inside and just using that good speed of his.
They mark him down at the 27-yard gain on the play for Brown. We can go back earlier to the start of this game, too, but I thought, once English got that touchdown in the two-point conversion, they cut it to 6.
Seemed like a spark.
It seemed like a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
But
no, but I think the toughest part is that when you just grind it out by simple handoffs, two different running backs, handoff, first down, and that just takes all the excitement out of the fact that you just scored.
3rd and 3 now, and again a handoff to, looks like Brown there on that play. Sorry, that's Kalangis on the carry. Kalangis is then wrapped up at the 49-yard line.
Same thing.
Kalangis, 28-yard gain.
Once they break the line of scrimmage, right there, he's going to have a big gain. He actually is allowing his blockers to stay in front of him. It eventually gets caught from behind because he was being patient, waiting for another block. Yeah, the one caught him. Probably brought him down from behind.
$19-point lead here for St. Mary's. 325 rushing yards so far in this one for the Spartans. Ali Barry now looking to throw. Lines up a pass straight down the middle of the field, and it's caught. It's caught by St. Mary's. What a catch by, of course, who else? David Brown up the seam on the post route.
That was really good coverage, too.
39-yard connection.
See, when this comes down,
yeah, McClure was right there.
Right there for it. Looks like he swung at the ball but just missed.
I'm sorry, that's a 44-yard connection from Barry to Brown.
That's great concentration by Brown. Talk about everything going right. Throw into coverage and can still complete it.
Yeah, Brown also has, in addition to his 12 rushing touchdowns, also has 3 receiving touchdowns coming into today. Ali Berry now in the quarterback sprint out, and he's corralled.
He gained a few yards on that, but he's having a tough night. For whatever reason, English has been able to track him down. See, this is a straight out run, but again, Berry can't turn the corner. Good job by Kerr to get out there and take away the edge.
So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal now for the Spartans from the English 7-yard line.
Well, you can expect them to go back between tackles. That's what they've been doing all night, very successfully.
They do a direct snap that time. And looking for the receiver streaking across the goal line there was Kalangis. Wow. Couldn't hang on to the football.
You see that was a little low. That was his first incompletion. But other than that 40-yard bomb, he just threw to Johnson. Just about every other attempt's been on the rollout, either right or to the left.
Take another look at that 44-yard pass from Barry to David Brown.
I still can't understand how McClure didn't hit his hands on it. But back to live action, we see another touchdown for St. Mary's up the middle.
Kalangis with another touchdown run. I believe that's his 3rd of the game. So Derek Kalangis with a touchdown run for St. Mary's, and this backfield continues to produce here in the 3rd quarter. 5 touchdowns between Brown and Kalangis. As St. Mary's now on top 33-8, and Michael Anderson will look to tack on the PAT. And Anderson's able to boot it through. 34-8 here for St. Mary's with 2:26 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's one more look at the touchdown by Kalangis.
You see the ball fake by Barry before he hands it off.
But when you have a kicker who's just so consistent with the PATs too, I know teams like to go for two occasionally, but that's just an automatic point after a touchdown every single time.
Important, really important.
I mean, those kickers can be weapons, especially in high school football when not every team has a kicker,
right,
or a kicker that can be consistent.
Yeah, it's not always that easy to put together a kicking unit. So, like we've seen all season, a lot of the city teams don't even bother.
That's right.
So was it Boston Latin? Who else? Latin Academy.
Latin Academy with Lucas Suazo. Anderson with that nice kick, fielded inside the 15-yard line. That's Malachi McClure again looking to get a decent return. McClure down the right sideline. We got a flag on the play. But McClure is wrapped up right around the 49-yard line, so a solid return. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, it looks like an illegal block.
So a personal foul by the English Eagles. Couldn't quite tell exactly what the penalty was, but
crackback block.
Crackback block. That's going to be a 15-yarder.
Wow.
That'll push them back to the 31-yard line.
It's actually a decent return by McClure. You'll see McClure try to get out to the sideline.
Now on first down for the English Eagles. Another flag on the play, as this time it's Jamari Howard with the carry.
Why did I say there weren't many penalties?
Right, right.
This always happens. That, right. As soon as I said that. Wow.
Face mask on St. Mary's.
They'll add on to the.
So 5-yard gain there for Jamari Howard, and then tack on another 15, and that'll put Boston English at the St. Mary's 45.
Rosario back in quarterback.
Yeah, Coach Conway mentioned that Denzel Pierre's a little bit more dynamic. He's got some big playmaking ability for this English team, but Osorio, very smart, senior, very poised quarterback, and that's why he's the start of this season. So Osorio back in there, and English trying to plow forward for a couple of yards there on first down.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the St. Mary's defensive front is taking different angles, or setting up on different angles that English hasn't seen before, because the way they've been able to clog up Keyshawn Key is, I mean, these are all the plays between tackles that he specializes in. And again, you know, from what we saw this year, he's one of the best backs in the city. But yet, come out here to Lynn, and he's totally bottled up.
2nd and 7 now for the Eagles. They run the double reverse there with Geathers. And he picks up 2 yards on the play, up to the 40-yard line.
You see a little reverse action here. You can see 2 guys who've gone right to Key, and still, even into the third 3 quarters, I mean, the best running English had was from the quarterback Osorio.
Yeah, he seems to be the one player that St. Mary's just has not keyed on as much. Keyshawn Kerr again with a carry, tries to plow forward, picks up a yard.
Keyshawn Kerr, the ball carrier.
Okay, that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
St. Mary's, gain of 2 on the play. We'll bring up a 4th and 3 ball for the St.
2-yard gain there for Kerr. It'll be 4th and 3 when we come back here to Manning Field in Lynn for the 4th quarter here on Game of the Week. St. Mary's in full control. They're on top 34-8 over the English Eagles. See if Boston English can maybe put up a touchdown or a score here for the end of this one.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn for Game of the Week as the St. Mary's Spartans lead the English Eagles 34-8 here in the first round of the Division VI MIAA Football Playoffs. And as we are just about ready to start the 4th quarter, our sideline reporter Milton Posner's got an update for us. Milton, what do you have?
Hey guys, got a quick update for you on a couple of players. One of them, Nadim Vittel, a guy we thought was going to be ready to go on the English side. He's been on the sideline, still trying to shake out that right knee. We think he's questionable at this point, I'd say. Jalen Jones, number 59 in white, the guy who got injured a couple of minutes ago. He was getting his right foot and ankle taped on the sideline by the team trainer. He's gone back in since. He was moving a little bit gingerly, but he should be good to go. I'd keep an eye on him the rest of the way. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Milton. Now we know why Malachi McClure is back to return special teams kicks, as Najim Vitale is normally back there, but unable to get back in the game. Terrell Geathers with a solid gain.
Yeah, first down run on 4th down. Yeah.
4th down, so he picks up a first down here for English, and the Eagles certainly won't be able to come back in this one, most likely.
Want some pride points.
Yeah, pick up a couple of yards, some touchdowns. These seniors want to try to pick up some points here in this one. They give it to Keyshawn Kerr again, and Keyshawn stumbles his way down to the 28-yard line. So a 5-yard gain there on first down for Keyshawn. 2nd down and 5 now for the Eagles.
Yeah, you talk about the build-up and getting ready for the playoff game, and then the disappointment of a lopsided score like this. And like you always say, it's, you feel bad for the seniors, mainly because this is their last time. Well, for English, there's trying some misdirection again, but
Actually had a collision in the backfield between Osorio and Kerr.
Tackle each other, yeah. But for English, they do have the Thanksgiving, the traditional Thanksgiving Boston Latin game to look forward to. The whole scenario of what Coach Thomas have 3 seasons. Right?
That's right. Regular season, postseason, and Thanksgiving.
Right. And so Thanksgiving, I mean, it's in terms of the seniors mainly, but the entire team obviously, but more so for the seniors. They'll have a chance to try to make up and bounce back from this game.
So some of the teams who did not make the postseason are continuing with their regular season. I believe that's what English will do too, if they do end up losing this game. Is they'll schedule one more regular season game as they see Osorio looking for a receiver, and it's Malachi McClure who gets wrapped up at the 4-yard line. That might be offensive.
I was just going to say it might have been a push-off. Yeah.
Tough part to see was, I think, he might have been tangled up by the defensive back too.
He was engaged. They were definitely engaged before the ball got there. He got away and made the catch. So it's a judgment call.
Looks like it's going to be on English. Usually when they're asking the opposing coach for what they want to do, it usually means it's on the offensive player.
But you're right. Both of us saw that they were engaged.
Okay, so 2 flags on the play. Actually, there was an illegal shift, and there was offensive pass interference.
So they call Malachi for pushing off. Yeah. That's Coach Conway. Some of his, I mean, the frustration level is already high, so something like this is just like.
Take another look at it here as Malachi.
Oh, look, he just sort of came back.
Yeah, they were sort of tied up there. I'm surprised. He just sort of made an adjustment on the play.
Yeah, that's a tough one there.
It must have been earlier than what we saw in the replay in order for that to be offensive pass interference. It was
a good throw by Osorio, too.
It was.
He threw it so that Malachi could come back for the ball. But it's just been a frustrating night all around.
No question. Third and 22 now for the Eagles. Osorio again going to the air, and it's almost intercepted. Pass was tipped up in the air, but the Spartans were unable to hang on to it.
We have another English player down.
I think that's Osorio. Yep.
Must have taken a hit as soon as he threw the ball, because he got the ball out in pretty good shape.
Trainers have been busy on the English sideline. Well, the winner of this game, as they tend to mark Osorio, the winner of this game will face the winner of Medway and Bellingham, which is going on right now also at at Medway. Medway, the 6th seed, Bellingham, the 11th seed. And folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. Check out a lot of different updates that we've got, some games that we're going to be covering. And also you can follow us on Twitter. Go to @BostonCityTV. If you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. They continue to check out Marco Osorio. You wonder what would take this much time. You wonder if it's a head injury.
You really got to hope not, but he looks like he is getting up.
Like I mentioned, so St. Mary's will most likely be facing the winner of Medway Bellingham. I believe English is the only team in the Division 6 bracket English actually got moved up to Division 6 this year, which was strange. They've actually mostly been in Division 8 the past few seasons. Yeah. But with some of the power ranking changes and that sort of thing, they got moved up to 6. Meanwhile, Division 7, rest of the City League teams that are in action. East Boston's visiting Amesbury up in Amesbury. Their game started at 7 o'clock. And then also Latin Academy driving all the way to Clinton High School. They're facing Clinton at Clinton High. And if we go out to Division 8, Brighton High School is also in the postseason with this new power ranking system. And they have to drive all the way to Palmer, Massachusetts.
That's Western Mass. That's almost New York.
That's right. Brighton's going to had to drive probably about 2.5 hours to get to Palmer today to get to that game.
So from what you just ran down, every City team had to travel.
That's right. This was the closest game for anybody. It's this new playoff power ranking system has teams all over the place because there's no actual regions anymore in the divisions. It's all
right. Yeah. I get that.
16.
It's just strange to me that of all the City teams that are in it, that none of them qualified to have a game in Boston.
That's right.
It just seems strange.
Latin Academy is the 9 seed in their bracket, and they're playing the 8th seed. So if Latin Academy if Latin Academy had beaten English, they might have gotten a higher seed.
They might have jumped down to a higher seed. Right?
That's right.
I got you. Yeah.
But the strange thing about this whole power ranking system is that Latin Academy would have gotten some points for a win. But then it would have made English
right. May not cut in at all. Right, yeah.
So then, the opponent power ranking for Latin Academy would have been lower because English would have had a worse record. This whole thing is such a strange equation.
It just changes from game to game. Each final score basically can change the whole situation. Walking off on his own is Osario, but it looks like he's going to be seen on the sideline. He's clearly done for the day.
That's just too bad for a quarterback to have to kind of go out of a playoff game.
Yeah, I know. I think at this point he's just hoping to gets back for Thanksgiving.
So Denzel Pierre now in there at quarterback for the English Eagles. We mentioned Denzel got a pretty good arm. Chucks it down the sideline looking for Gethers, and that one falls incomplete. So St. Mary's will take over on downs after that 4th down pass by the English Eagles at the English 45-yard line. Here's Coach Driscoll talking to his quarterback. Coach Driscoll took over the St. Mary's program in 2018 after a 10-year coaching career at Winthrop High School as the head coach. Before that, being an assistant at Winthrop. And in his first season in 2018, St. Mary's actually made it to the Super Bowl. Ended up losing in the Super Bowl, but your first season, you make it to the Super Bowl. You don't let go down from there.
There's nowhere to go but down, right?
St. Mary's, the following season in 2019, I believe went 4-3 in the regular season and lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Fumble.
There's a fumble, and English will recover.
Yeah, some of the backup players in there for both teams, actually, but I think that was on Maggs.
Yeah, Joel Maggs fumbling the ball there. Actually had a carry earlier. That's the 4th turnover here for St. Mary's. So despite the 4 turnovers, they're still able to put up 34 points.
I think it just goes to show, like you're saying, it shows you how good they've been. 4 turnovers, and they still rang up 34 points. Up by 26 points. It's full control.
Like I was saying before, St. Mary's didn't have the outstanding season in 2019, but a lot of the seniors this year were sophomores on that 4-3 team in 2019. Coach Driscoll was crediting that to help them build up to this point. And then he also mentioned during the spring season, so much happened, with the pandemic, and then they had the fall 2 season in the spring. And Coach Driscoll said that they had 4 seniors that stuck around and said, we're going to play spring football. and he really credited the 4 seniors that were able to play in that Fall 2 season to really usher in this group. This group of St. Mary's this year who was able to put together a 7-1 record coming into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, commitment is one of those things, especially in football, because it's such a difficult sport to decide to stay with. Commitment is probably the first step. And we hear it all the time in the city schools, coaches talking about, well, I hope these guys come back. I hope they really want to continue playing. Another fumble this time by English.
Fumbles, but English is able to recover at the 35. Collins there for the recovery after Geathers got the reception.
You see a rollout thrown across his body. Good catch by Geathers, but actually he never really brought it in. He did have it, but had control, but never actually tucked it in. So once he got hit, the ball was popped out. See Driscoll on the sideline saying it should be incomplete. So it's going to be, I guess it's going to stay as a completion.
Take another look at it.
Yeah,
there.
so he never really had it, but it got knocked away. He did take a couple of steps, but he was bobbling the whole time.
Clock winding down to under 6 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Referee timeout.
Looks like something.
I think they're trying to spot the football correctly or get the chains in the proper spot. This has been a well-managed game by these referees. I think they've done a nice job tonight. We've talked a lot about these new federation rules and how they've made things a little more discombobulated at these games. These refs have done a good job. So you see Pierre with a nice little run, still on his feet is Denzel Pierre.
He fell down on the defender, not on the turf. So
right, he kind of rolled over the
sophomore smart enough to keep on going. Yeah, watch the end of this play. He's gonna split these two defenders coming up to the left, right there. Okay. Needs to tuck the ball in, right? Tuck it in. Now he falls on the defender. Good, smart play. Make the officials determine it. Okay, now we have a timeout from St. Mary's.
Timeout, St. Mary's.
You know the Spartans team does not want to give up another score before the end of the game.
That's true. That's part of it. Yeah. We got almost 5 minutes to go, 4:59.
As you see Marco Sario down on the bench. Can't quite see if he's really
he was shaking his head.
Or...
No, he was shaking his head when he was walking off.
Yeah.
And they took him far from the bench. That's an indication you're not going back.
That's right.
And they took his helmet away. Take your helmet away, put you on that far bench. You're not playing anymore.
That could mean that they think he might have a head injury.
Yeah, and that's
just to be on the safe side.
Precaution. Obviously, you watch the way he's talking and the way he interacts.
They do have some tests on the sideline they can do to determine if a player possibly has a concussion. Clock continues to run under 5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Pierre short arms that one to Malachi McClure.
Denzel Pierre's pass intended for Jamari Howard, incomplete. Correction, Malachi McClure.
Well, again, I mean, the disappointment goes without saying for English, but it doesn't take away from their season. They like you said, defensively they had averaged giving up only like 11 points a game, which is a huge improvement on recent years.
Denzel Pierre now facing a rush. He's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Sack there for Velasca, who's been coming across the line with ease throughout the night.
No, he's been defensive player of the game for them, no doubt. I mean, he's listed as 6'3", so I don't know is this height actually an advantage to allow him to, first of all, use long arms to keep blockers away and then look over to see exactly where the ball is or where it's going, because he's been the main guy from what I can remember tackling Keith Kerr most of the day. I mean, haven't seen Kerr bottled up like this at all. And if you have a plan and you can execute it with, with the experienced players, that makes a difference.
4th and 16 now for the English Eagles.
He's going to throw it up. Yeah,
Pierre's not even going to get a chance to get it. Oh, he does get the football off, but it's thrown incomplete.
Again, same situation. You get a offensive lineman who can really not do anything with the
clock should stop on a change of possession.
With Velasco, if he's going to let this run out, this is.
Well, Coach Conway did want us to mention, too, they actually got a couple of new helmets for this football team. A couple of the interior linemen got brand new football helmets that are better for, defending against concussions. And he's hoping that with some more support from the English alumni and maybe they can buy a few more and maybe get the whole team situated with these brand new helmets that he was telling me about. And, it's crazy how the technology of football helmets has gotten so much better.
Oh, it is. It really is.
Recently, especially, because I remember for the longest time, last time I was playing high school football was 20 years ago, but,
plastic and pads.
It seemed like the helmets hadn't changed for like 4 decades.
Yeah, they were plastic and they were rubber padding. And that was it.
The air pads in there.
And if you go way, way back before that, they were leather.
Yeah, right. Because that'll really help you protect your brain. It was leather.
So
right now, St. Mary's just kind of run the clock out here. So certainly a disappointing way for English to play in the postseason. Just a one-and-done situation for them. Senior Mark Osario has to come out at the end of the game. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a precautionary thing because he seems like he's okay sitting there watching.
Right.
Disappointed, obviously, not okay, but on the play, he made he actually threw a good pass.
He did.
Like following the ball, wasn't able to see what happened, but it might have been a late hit.
Could have been.
Because he usually knows how to protect himself pretty well.
Looks like St. Mary's will down it one more time before the end of this one. And that'll do it here from Manning Field in Lynn as St. Mary's defeats English 34-8 here at Manning Field in the first round of the Division VI MIAA Football Playoffs. So St. Mary's will advance and take on the winner of the game going on between, I think it was Bellingham. I'd have to check that again. But, certainly a very impressive performance tonight from St. Mary's. So we saw their rushing attack throughout the first half, and their two running backs. Their quarterback actually didn't really get a lot going on the ground.
First play of the game, he threw the ball 40 yards. Okay,
that's
so
right.
Then after that, you're right. But you're right. He's been part of the triple threat running attack.
That's right.
So you're right. Coming into the game, English expected to see 3 good runners. And you're right, Barry just had a nightmare night trying to run the ball. English,
that's right.
The key on him, they had good rushing against him. They forced 2 fumbles, but Barry also threw a couple of nice passes. Didn't have his first incompletion until the late third quarter. So he did what he had to do. He managed the game. Had the 2 big running backs behind him who just took over the game with the 5 touchdowns between the 2. So quarterback did what he had to do.
Yeah, no question. And the 2 running backs just outstanding on the ground tonight. They were 2 of the better players on the field today, and I think they're going to help this team going forward as St. Mary's advances in this year's MIAA playoffs. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week, Player of the Game, and the final stats here from Manning Field in Lynn right after these words. Make sure you stick around.
I never graduated from high school. I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, That was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, there are more than a dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 30 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Manning Field in Lynn at the conclusion of Game of the Week here in the first round of Division 6 MIAA Football Playoffs. St. Mary's defeats English 34-8. And Alan, we've been talking about it all night, but the rushing attack for this St. Mary's team was just outstanding. We knew coming in they had two very good running backs in Derek Kalangis and also David Brown. And Brown, if you look at his stats, you look at his production with touchdowns and catching the football and rushing the football, he's just a dynamic offensive player for the St. Mary's team.
Oh, you're right. And you talk about dynamic plays. He had the 76-yard touchdown run, which was all him, speed, obviously good blocking up front too. But those are the deflating type of touchdowns that really, I think, emotionally hurt English early in the game. And Brown was the outstanding guy.
No question. Brown is our player of the game tonight. He and Coach Driscoll are down on the field with our sideline reporter, if I could speak, Milton Posner. Milton, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm here with player of the game, David Brown. And David, this was a great game for you, 175 rushing yards, 40-plus yard catch for a touchdown. Where does this rank for you among the games that you played this season?
I just think of it as another game. I go out every single week, try to give my best for my team and all my coaches.
You guys were a little bit sloppy in the early going, a couple of fumbles. What was the key to getting your team back on track?
Just talking to each other in the huddle and coming together as a team. We know we need to pick up someone when they make a mistake, so I think we all had each other's back.
And what were you seeing there in their defensive formations that was letting you attack so precisely?
I think it was just our tackles and guards pulling through, just making a big hole for me and letting me cut off their blocks.
Awesome, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now to head coach Sean Driscoll. Coach, one of the same questions. You guys were fumbling the ball a lot in the first quarter. Didn't seem too happy with that. No. What's the key to tightening that kind of a problem?
I'll tell you what. Come out home, first playoff game, nerves a little bit there, I think, and I think at times they made some great plays on defense. Got our quarterback, knocked the ball out. Ball security hasn't been a problem the whole year. Obviously, it was a problem tonight. So we had to try to tighten some things up and change a little bit of what we were doing. We get keep focus on the ball security more than anything else. 2 hands on the ball, and they did a nice job recovering from it. Except late in the fourth quarter, we drop another one again. So 4 turnovers is never going to be good. And then, hey, you know what? It might be a wake-up call. We got another game, playoff game next week, and we got to play better. We got to get rid of the sloppiness.
And what are the strengths from this game that you want to take into that next game, presumably against a tougher opponent?
Well, I'll tell you, we're very explosive in the backfield. I think running back, receiver, quarterback, great spots for us. And when we get on people up front and we do a good job, we got some of the best skill around. So that's the key, I think, going forward. I think you saw a little bit about that tonight. But again, I think we have to get back to the basics this week and get ready to go. And we'll bury this game tomorrow. We'll put the film on, go over our mistakes. We'll bury it and get ready to start going against Midway on next Friday night.
And lastly, what does that versatility buy you where you've got so many guys, so many star players who can play on both sides of the ball so effectively?
I think a key to this football team, one is their togetherness, and two, knowing who the key guys are on both sides of the ball. And our guys on offense play a lot of defense as well. And they do, again, those guys do a lot of little things that make the big things happen. And I think with our guys up front, offense, defensive line, you saw late in the game, you got some great pass rushes from the defensive line, and they did a phenomenal job to get us out of here with a win. Because I tell you what, the scoreboard doesn't look like it, but it was a tight fight there. They moved the ball on us. They pushed us around. They're very well coached. They got a good program for the last 4 or 5 years. He's been there, and we knew we were going to have our hands full.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much. Best of luck going forward.
Thanks for covering for it, by the way. This is great.
No problem. It's Coach Driscoll and player of the game, David Brown, after a resounding win over Boston English to knock English out of the playoffs. Pat, back to you.
Milton, thank you so much. And Coach Driscoll certainly happy but not satisfied with this St. Mary's football team as they defeat English 34-8. Folks, we're going to take a look at the final stats here from Manning Field before we sign off from the city of Lynn. And first up, it's English.
English. Quarterback Osario, 81 yards, 12 carries. Unfortunately, got banged up a bit at the end there and had to sit out the last few minutes. Geathers, tough 42 yards and the only touchdown for English on 7 carries. Receiving, Geathers had 1 catch for 16 yards. That was the only completion. That was from actually David Pierre, who went 1 for 6. So tough stats for English in a bit of a lopsided game. St. Mary's, you see, Brown and Kalangis, we talked about that sort of two-headed monster. Brown, the player of the game, 7 carries, 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Kalangis, just as gaudy, 11 carries, 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. So From scrimmage, simple football, hand the ball off and watch them run. Receiving, Sacco 2 for 54. Brown caught a pass for 44 yards. The bomb, we still can't figure out how it wasn't deflected, but anyway, it was completed in 3 out of 4 for 98 yards for Ali Berry, the quarterback.
So very productive numbers there, well over 300 yards on the ground there for St. Mary's as their rushing attack continues to carry them forward here in the postseason. St. Mary's, as Coach Driscoll mentioned, they'll be moving on to the second round of the playoffs. They'll be hosting Medway next week as Medway just defeated Bellingham in their home game here as Medway's the 6th seed. St. Mary's is the 3 seed. Medway will be coming here, so St. Mary's and Medway will be clashing
that'll be
next Friday. That'll be
Medway rang up over 40 points.
Yeah, they're 2 high-scoring offense. That could be a shootout here at Manning Field next weekend. Folks, thank you so much for joining us here on Game of the Week. If you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our city website. Go to boston.gov/cable. Scroll down to the bottom of the screen. Click on Game of the Week, and you can check out all the games from this season. You can also go to our social media pages. First, you can go to Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. We put the links of these games up on our site. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, ask us a question, let us know how we're doing, use the hashtag BostonGOW. It's the postseason. We have no idea what's going to happen with all these city teams because they're all over the state right now.
Right.
So we'll have to figure it out. We will hopefully have a game for you next week, whether it's a playoff game or back to a regular season game. But for right now, we're going to say so long here from Manning Field and Lynn. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Have a good night, everybody.